Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. In this episode, let's talk about another interesting cross-country hardtail mountain bike from Orbea. And this time it's gonna be 2021 Orbea Alma M25 mountain bike. I am a huge fan of cross-country mountain bikes, and from time to time I will be featuring mountain bikes on this channel. But before we start, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe and hit that little bell icon because it's gonna help in growing the channel. And of course, if you are already a subscriber, then thank you. So, as I was saying, the 2021 Orbea Alma M25 cross-country mountain bike. It's another interesting offering from Orbea mountain bikes, just because it's a very interesting value for money, very good value for money, retail out of the box, and we will dive in a bit more into the specifications, and at the end I will give my opinion about the things I truly like on this bike and maybe some negative things. So we can start by discussing who is this bike for. So you see, if you like spending your time a bit more off-road, you like to explore the nature, and maybe you are now even thinking about going for the gravel road bike, I would strongly recommend you to first check some of the hardtail cross-country mountain bikes. These machines are super capable off-road and also on-road, and they are very, quality built, really almost like indestructible. And since today there's all the rage about the gravel road bikes, again, I truly advise you just at least to test ride one of the hardtail cross-country mountain bikes and then make up your decision. When we talk about the paint scheme on this bike, this is absolutely superb from Orbea. You get 3 paint schemes to choose from. The first one is this beautiful savage green with a hint of red. I would almost call it like military green. Perfectly fine with me. Then you have a very classical black with kind of a metallic silver, or maybe it's just a gloss black. And my favorite one, which is ice green. A very nice light green with a hint of black, and this would definitely be my paint scheme. But I'm super glad that Orbea is able to offer 3 paint schemes on this bike, because when you consider retail price of this bike, which is $3,000 or 2,700 euros or 2,500 British pounds, it's very, very good that you get 3 paint schemes on offer. Many other bike manufacturers don't only offer you 1 paint scheme on their much more expensive bikes. Since I started with the retail price, we can discuss this a little bit. So $3,000 the retail price. I mean, definitely not a cheap bike, but I believe it's a very good value for money immediately as a retail. Although I strongly advise you to negotiate this price. Go to your local Orbea bike dealer, be nice, negotiate nicely, behave nicely, and definitely aim for about 15% discount on this bike. So let's call it, if the retail is $3,000 and let's say you aim for about $2,500, 2,400, 2,500, and it's perfectly fine to get the discount, because the sales of cross-country mountain bikes are much less than the road bikes, so that's why your local Orbea bike dealer might have a bit more freedom when it comes to negotiating this bike price. So now let's dive in and let's see all the components and specifications you're gonna get for your hard-earned money. And we can kick off with the frame and the fork on this bike. So the frame is a carbon fiber frame from Orbea, Orbea Carbon OMR. 12mm through axle at the back, press fit bottom bracket, and internal cable routing. So now, speaking about this OMR carbon fiber frame. This is not, creme de la creme, top of the line that Orbea can do. They still have their OMX level carbon fiber frames, but these frames get very, very expensive. So this is a very good carbon fiber frame from Orbea, and also keep in mind that you get a lifetime warranty on this frame. So absolutely, I have no complaints with this carbon fiber frame from Orbea with the lifetime warranty. Now let's talk about the fork on this bike. Since I speak about the hardtail mountain bikes in this case, always keep in mind that of course that means that there is no rear suspension, you only have the front fork, front suspension, and in this case you are getting a superb Fox 32 float step cast performance fork. This is a 100mm travel fork, classical, cross-country 100mm travel fork with a 15mm through axle at the front. And if we quickly nip to the Fox website and we can have a look at a little bit more specifications about this Fox 32 step cast fork. This is a classical, ultra lightweight cross-country fork. And basically 32 means that the diameter of the legs of the fork is 32 millimeters. This step cast fork comes with their grip damper technology from Fox, where you have a 3-position on-the-fly adjustment of the damper. So this fork, of course, is in this application for 29-inch wheels, 100mm of travel, and a 15mm through axle, and you can fit the rotor sizes, braking rotors, all the way from 160mm all the way to 203mm on this fork. Of course, the air spring in this fork is the Fox float, and as I was saying, this fit grip damper in the fork has basically 3 positions on the fly that you can adjust for the compression damping, so you can have a fully opened fork, so for full 100mm of travel, you can have a medium and you can have a firm. Firm, for example, when it's kind of totally locked out fork. Although these forks usually have just a little bit of movement even when it's in the firm position of the compression damping. Also, on the bottom of the fork, you have the low speed rebound adjustments, 10 clicks, and you can usually see those little kind of stickers. There's a rabbit and there's a turtle, so depending if you want a fast rebound or you want a very slow rebound. So this Fox 32 step cast performance fork, absolutely superb piece of kit. I have no special complaints about this fork. Also, since Orbea offers a lot of customization on their bikes, here you can even upgrade to the Fox 32 step cast factory fork with the Kashima coating. This would be another $250, but I just wouldn't bother with this upgrade. I would stick with the classical Fox 32 step cast performance fork. Any complaints here about the Fox 32 fork? Absolutely no complaints here from me. Now let's talk about the crankset on this bike. You will get a superb Shimano XT M8100 crankset, and this is a single chainring at the front, 34 tooth, so there is no front derailleur on this bike. This is basically the way the cross-country mountain bikes are going. So, in the old days you might even have 3 chainrings at the front. Now it's only one, and it's a 34 tooth in this application. Shimano XT, absolutely superb choice. Just to remind you, when you look at the Shimano mountain bike group sets, creme de la creme is Shimano XTR. Then below you have Shimano XT, then below is Shimano SLX, and then below is the Shimano Dior. So this Shimano XT, absolutely superb crankset. You see, this crankset is also paired with the Shimano M7100 cassette. So this cassette is the Shimano SLX level cassette, 12-speed cassette, 1051 chainrings. So you see the huge range from 1051 cassette and at the front you have a crankset of 34 tooth. So you will definitely be able to attack super steep mountains with this 12-speed group set from Shimano. Also, the chain on this bike is gonna be the Shimano's M7100. Again, Shimano SLX level chain. No complaints here from me. Now let's talk about some smaller pieces like the handlebar and the stem on this bike. So both handlebar and the stem are Orbea's own production, and this handlebar is 740 millimeters wide. This is a classical aluminum handlebar. You can upgrade to the carbon fiber handlebar from Orbea, but I wouldn't bother with this now. I would stick with the classical aluminum handlebar. Stem on this bike, again, Orbea's own production, aluminum stem, nothing special to mention here. Now let's talk about the shifters on this bike, or to be precise, a shifter on this bike, because there is no front mech, so this shifter only controls the rear mech. So you have the Shimano's XT-M 8100 I-Spec shifter, absolutely superb shifter, no complaints here from me. I mean, Shimano XT is such a great group set, specifically in the application of this shifter. This I-Spec specification basically means that on the same clamp for the shifter there's also gonna be mounted the hydraulic disc brakes. Speaking about hydraulic disc brakes, here you will have Shimano's M6100 hydraulic disc brakes. So you see this 6100, this is a Shimano Dior level group set, and these hydraulic disc brakes should work perfectly fine, and as I see, these should be the braking rotors on the Shimano Dior level braking rotors with the, I'm guessing the diameter is going to be 180 millimeters both front and the back. They didn't mention this specific detail on the specifications, what are the braking rotors and the diameter, so this is something to check with your local Orbea bike dealer. There is also an option here with Orbea, with their customization program, that you upgrade to the Shimano XT hydraulic disc brakes. This is a very good upgrade, I have to say, for an extra $250 but then again, if you are a bit strapped with cash, absolutely don't worry about this upgrade, because even the standard Shimano Dior hydraulic disc brakes are gonna work perfectly fine. So in the future you might wanna upgrade, but don't worry now. When it comes to the rear mech on this bike, you are getting again a superb Shimano XT rear mech. So this is the Shimano's M8100 Shadow Plus rear mech, 12-speed group set on this bike, absolutely superb, no complaints here. Now let's talk about the wheel set. So the wheel set is a very good choice from DT Swiss. DT Swiss X1900 spline wheel set with 15mm through axle at the front, and of course it's going to be 12mm through axle at the back. There is an option here to upgrade to the DT Swiss XR 1650 wheel set, but personally I wouldn't bother upgrading, because even this X1900 wheel set from DT Swiss is a perfect wheel set. This is, you know, a classical cross-country workhorse wheel set from DT Swiss, and for example, if you would buy it in the open market, the retail price would be from $427 US. Also, some other interesting specifications of this wheel set are that the rear wheel is 1027 grams, front wheel 870 grams, so in total we are speaking approximately about 1900 grams. This wheel set, as I said, classical aluminum rim, tubeless ready for the 29-inch wheels, and the inner width is the 25mm on this rim. This wheel set comes with the DT Swiss 370 hubs, 12mm through axle at the back, 15mm through axle at the front, and this is for the center lock disc brakes, and of course these 370 hubs from DT Swiss have a 3-pole system. Spokes and nipples are both from DT, so DT Champion spokes and DT Pro Lock nipples. And I think that out of the box, since this wheel set is tubeless ready, I believe that Orbea will set it up with the tubeless valves and the tape, But maybe again a nice little detail just to check with the local Orbea dealer, does the wheelset come set up as tubeless, or you will need to do it on your own. Speaking about the tires, so these wheels are wrapped in Maxxis Icon 2.2 tire. This is a 120 TPI tire. Superb choice of the tire. I absolutely have no complaints here. Now let's talk about the saddle and the seat post. So you see, seat post on this bike is the Orbea's own production aluminium seat post, and you have an option to upgrade to the dropper seat post. I personally wouldn't upgrade anything now. I would keep it as it is, and I wish that Orbea here has included a carbon fiber seat post, just because carbon fiber seat posts are so good in soaking up many of the road bumps. So this would be one thing in the future that I would personally immediately upgrade to the carbon fiber seat post. Speaking about the saddle, standard saddle is the Physique Taiga, should be perfectly fine saddle. And you can upgrade to the Selle Italia SLR saddle or a woman's specific saddle. Since saddles are a personal preference, I wouldn't be upgrading anything here from the standard equipment of Physique Taiga. And again, if you have your saddle that you truly like, please do fit it on this bike or many other bikes that you have, because saddles are such a personal preference, and once when you find a saddle that you like, just keep on using it. I was hoping that Orbea will give us here the data about the total weight of this bike. Unfortunately, there is no data about it, but I'm assuming that this bike is going to be closer to approximately 10.5 kilograms to 11 kilograms, and this is just a decent bike weight, nothing special. I'm not expecting anything, very low bike weight, but if somebody really knows the bike weight of this Orbea Alma M25, for example, in the size medium or large, please do let us know in the comments below. So now let's do a little summary of this bike, and I will just mention a few details that maybe bother me a bit on this bike. So you see, we gotta put it into a perspective. This is a $3,000 retail price, or approximately, as I said, 2,500 British pounds or 2,700 euros retail price. So if we put that into the perspective, it's a decent price. It's a very good price out of the box, but of course still I expect you to negotiate and aim for about 15% discount. But out of the box, one thing that I wish Orbea has done is this seat post. I wish they have included a carbon fiber seat post on this bike immediately out of the box. Everything else on the bike is a very good package. I mean, carbon fiber frame, Fox 32 step cast performance fork, Shimano XT group set with a bit of mix of the Shimano SLX with the Shimano Dior hydraulic disc brakes, DT Swiss wheels with DT Swiss hubs, Maxxis tires. I mean, absolutely, I don't have any special complaints about all the other equipment. So in my opinion, a very good package from Orbea, very good cross-country hardtail mountain bike, and an interesting value for money with the retail price of $3,000 US. So I think this is going to be it for today. If you like what I'm doing, please do subscribe and hit that little bell icon so you're always notified when I make a new video. And as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Pura Vida!